Sounds pretty petty to me. But
have I looked too deep into that? And I don't know if you've noticed it, but it's kind of like the brands try to compete with each other.
And I'll try and find something to talk nasty about your favourite brand, if I can.
Well, that one did in the market, so thought they'd replicate it and ride the gravy train for a little bit.
I don't know. It's hard to say because the Hakasuka, it's a popular car.
This episode contains turbulence caused by strong diecast opinions. Keep your hands and feelings inside the vehicle at all times.
Welcome back to episode number 6. Ben, how are you?
I'm good, mate. No poetic starts to the podcast today then.
Nah, look, it was a busy fortnight, mate. I can't just write poetry like that every 2 weeks. Like, it's just not going to happen. Sorry to disappoint you.
Amazing. How have you been? What's been going on in the diecast world?
Mate, plenty going on. We've got a lot to talk about today, and I'm excited to get into it. Where do you want to start?
Let's do it. I think we start with Hot Wheels. We've had a few RLC releases lately, Elite 6.4. So I think we start with probably the crowd favourite, Hot Wheels. You want to take it away?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the, we spoke about a couple in the last episode. You brought up the fact that the Supra was whispered to be coming soon. And, of course, that did drop between the last episode and this one. So probably not too much to say about that one because we did talk about that at length on the last episode. But it sold out pretty fast. Yeah, it was clearly a smash hit with the JDM fans. We spoke about the Elite 6.4 Ferrari 330 at length as well. That was rumoured to be coming soon. I think it dropped the next day after we recorded or something along those lines. Once again, smash hit, as we predicted. Went out the door like rapid fire. I did manage to secure myself one, so I was happy about that. But how about yourself? Did you manage to get one of those, or you weren't aiming to get one?
Yeah, as we talked about it, I've got the first Supra release already, so I wasn't too interested in getting this one. Didn't pay a lot of attention to how fast it sold out, but I did notice that it did sell out. When it came to the Elite 6.4, I was pretty keen to pick that one up. However, I was at work that day and wasn't too keen on staying up to the middle of the night. However, I did hear rumours it was confirmed. Yeah, I think the Ferrari 330p, it was online for about an hour. So those that were looking to pick it up, it was probably quite easy to get if you were there for that hour. There was no limit on it, so I'd probably suspect that the scalpers got right into it, probably ordered 10 or 20 for themselves. But I dare say there were probably a lot of units made, the Elite 6.4 being at that cheaper price point. So you'd have to suspect that, there are a lot of units out there. So I'm hoping potentially on the second-hand market, the prices might drop over the next few months after everyone gets it in hand. That's what I'm hoping anyway, because I definitely still want to pick that one up for sure.
Yeah, on that note, I feel like Mattel Australia just needs to pick up the game a little bit because they did drop it, but there was no advertisement that they were going to drop it. It wasn't on their website until the last minute, and then it was on there suddenly, and that sold out instantly. So no chance of that. And so, quite frankly, I wasn't staying up till whatever time it was in the night to get it. So on this occasion, thank God for scalpers. I did pay a small premium for it. A small premium, nothing drastic, but I did manage to get one. In fact, I managed to get 2. So if you want one, mate, let me know.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll keep that in mind. I did hear that Australia only had 1,000 allocated to them. So, I dare say they sold out quite fast. Yeah, the fact that it was online for an hour, and I think, what was the price point? 38 Australian dollars, was it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yep.
Look, compared to the RLCs we've seen lately, that price point is a lot cheaper. So I'm surprised it was online for so long, which, I'd almost believe that there were just, potentially 3 or 4 times more units created than our regular RLCs. But, who knows? Mattel don't release the numbers. It'd be good to know the numbers. But, they've probably made that much money on this one. They can make it at that lower price. But, great piece. And, I'll keep it in mind, that kind offer that you've given me.
Welcome, mate. Anytime. The other one that dropped that would have been probably a pretty big hit in the US. I didn't see as much noise about it here in Australia, but that Mustang, pretty good looking unit, to be honest. What was your thoughts?
It is a good looking Mustang. Not really a Mustang guy. Mustang's not been too popular in Australia. So to tell you the truth, I wasn't even watching this one. It wasn't on my radar. I wasn't watching how fast it sold out. Do you know, did it actually sell out?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
I think it sold out fairly fast. There's certainly a lot of collectors and things that I follow in the US that were pretty hot. They were all over it. They were drooling over this thing. I didn't see a lot of noise from Australian collectors, but that's pretty typical. We've spoken about that a fair few times in the past. The Mustang would obviously be a staple, sports car over there. Whereas over here, it's, don't get me wrong, there's Mustangs everywhere, but it's probably not as hot in the diecast scene, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, something else that definitely caught my eye, and this is one that I was considering when I saw it. We had and I know that you were probably pretty hot on this one, the F1 set, the 2025 championship Lando Norris with Max Verstappen and obviously Oscar coming in third. I think this one's dropped already. I haven't paid a lot of attention. It did catch my eye first, and then tonight, is it?
Yeah, so it's already dropped in Australia this morning, I think it was. But tonight it drops as we're recording.
So as everyone's listening to this podcast, it has already dropped. And
correct.
I am currently, right now, giving you the next 30 seconds to convince me to buy this. Because this is one F1 set that I've been looking at thinking, it is pretty cool. Like, it does look like a pretty iconic piece. Like, maybe I should buy this one.
All right, here goes. My thoughts as a Formula One fan, let me add, I have been eyeing off the Hot Wheels Formula One cars for quite some time. However, I haven't pulled the pin on any of them. A couple of reasons. One, I wanted to see if they were going to do Ferrari because I wasn't interested in having half a set. I was pretty keen on having the whole lot. But I've already spent a fair bit of money and invested within the hobby on other brands in F1. And I just feel like while I love that F1 have got this collaboration with Hot Wheels, I just feel that the ones that I've got are just that step above in detail. Don't get me wrong. I think Hot Wheels have done a great job with these. I actually don't think they've done a bad job. However, having said all of that, that's the reason I haven't touched the standard F1 set. But when I saw this come out, I thought the same thing. I thought this is a pretty unique set. It's not something that you're just going to see from everyone. And obviously it's a commemorative piece with Lando winning the premiership, or the championship, I should say, last weekend. Max coming second. Was it Max was third or second? Can't remember. But Oscar and Max on the podium as well. Look, it's a pretty unique piece. 60 Australian dollars, I think it was. And I've been wrestling with it myself. I'm not going to be able to give you any help in making that decision because, I'll be honest, I don't think I'll end up pulling the trigger on it.
Oh, well, there you go. You haven't convinced me, so I think I'm going to pass on that one. That easy.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
For me,
I was really torn on it.
Look, for me, when it comes to collecting F1 cars, Hot Wheels, Mini GT, whatever it may be, I do like F1. I like the racing. I like the prestige, the drama that comes with it. But I just don't like having the cars in my collection. I don't know if you can understand that, if people can understand that. I do like F1. I just don't like collecting the cars.
Yeah, no, that's all right. That's your prerogative. It's your collection.
It is.
So, no, look, I do get it to an extent. I used to be the same, to be honest. And then I grabbed a couple of Mini GTs, Formula One cars. They did a fair few of the Red Bulls. They've done the McLarens and things like that. And so I picked up a fair few of those. And I was actually pleasantly surprised with how well they had done them, especially in a 1/64 scale. I didn't expect them to be done as well as what they had been done. And then BBR released the Ferraris, They were done at an excellent level as well. So yeah, look, Alpha Tauris, the Alfa Romeos, I've got a fair few of them now, mostly from Mini GT, and I can't. I guess the reason I haven't gone towards the Hot Wheels stuff is they definitely look different. Hot Wheels have always got that Hot Wheels flavour to them, which is great. It is the Hot Wheels thing, but I've always sort of thought, in my head when I'm collecting these things, I think, this is going to look good one day. Just all these, Formula One cars on the wall together, and then I think of getting some Hot Wheels pieces, and I go, but nah, it's not going to look right if I've got Mini GT next to Hot Wheels. It just, you know how it's got that slightly different. It's the same as any other Hot Wheels versus Mini GT car. Hot Wheels has definitely got that Hot Wheels flavour. Mini GT's got that Mini GT flavour. So just. Yeah, I just thought, nah, don't even buy one, because if I start, I said it on the last podcast, I love a series. If I start, I'll end up with the whole field, So I keep putting my fingers in my pockets, just going, no, don't press buy. But that's me.
Look, I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to take your advice, not your advice, but I'm going to buy one F1 car, whether it be, I think Top Race has got one coming out, or a Mini GT one. I'm just going to buy one, and I'm going to see how it feels after I buy it. I don't know when I'll buy it, but I'm going to commit and buy one, and
maybe I'll send you one for Christmas.
Okay, mate.
just to start, so you haven't invested anything,
Yeah.
If you don't like it, you put it in the bin.
Yeah. I'm thinking that's why I might go for Mini GT.
yeah.
Little bit cheaper.
Fair enough.
Still affordable. Yeah.
Yeah. No, look, I've been happy with what I've gotten from them so far. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I want to say though that if I hadn't have bought any Formula One cars, and this might be the tipping point for you that convinces you to pull the trigger. If I hadn't bought any F1 cars, I would be lapping up every single one of these Hot Wheels Formula One cars. I just don't want to mess up the collection now because I've already started. But you're a clean skin, a Formula One clean skin, so you can start wherever you like.
Look, I mean, it's hard because I just don't know how I'd feel with one random F1 car sitting in those displays. It's not going to look right. Maybe I won't.
That's why you buy more.
You've just talked me out of it.
Wasn't my intention, I promise.
So if we stick with the F1 theme, and obviously we talk a little bit more about Senna, and we'll move into the Mini GT since we've been talking about that.
Yep.
We've seen a new Mini GT release with Senna vehicle and minifigure sitting in it.
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we've spoken about the Senna series before. They started off with the Mercedes. They brought out the NSX. They brought out a bunch of Formula One cars. Now they've dropped 2 go-karts. So really a throwback to the beginning of Senna and a lot of Formula One drivers. Yeah, just a throwback to the karting era, which I thought was really cool. It's not something that you often see from any of the diecast brands, really. It's a bit of a first. You don't see a lot of go-karts, only because I imagine there's probably not a lot of demand for go-karts. But being that I am collecting this Senna series, I pre-ordered these 2 go-karts straight away. One was from 1981, and one's a bit later in the piece at 1993. Both cool pieces, both obviously a tribute to Senna, and I'm pretty excited to see them come through probably in 12 months' time.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't know how I feel about them. I almost align these with the, it's something different, like the, the Mini GT Ducati that came out. Just, tiny. So I'm guessing it's going to be quite a small piece, isn't it? Like being the minifigure.
I would have thought so.
Minifigure 164 go-kart. So I guess it's going to come in the Mini GT box the same way that the Ducati did with the minifigure. So, a lot of air around the box, but What I do like about the Ducati is it's just been a one-off release and it hasn't been done
Yeah.
in other colors. So
Yeah.
is it viable as a business to do that? It's probably not as good. It's good to release multiple colors in a casting, but it is probably a lot cheaper to create a small casting like a bike or a go-kart as well. So yeah, I think it's cool. I think the go-karts are pretty cool. I'm torn at the moment whether I need them both. I think I may just pick my favorite and just get one. I don't think I need two go-karts. Just one for an example. But yeah, a pretty interesting little piece, something different. So it is kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of the bikes, I know Mini GT were looking at, I think they announced quite some time ago that they were working with Harley Davidson to do a bunch of their models. So they have sort of looked at, doing other bikes. And I know that, is it CM model that does a whole bunch of Augustas and Ducatis and things like that? I think CM model do it.
I'm not actually 100% sure, to tell you the truth. Something to look into. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few brands out there that are looking at that sort of bike space. I grabbed that Ducati just, I think, for the main reason that it was something unique from Mini GT, instead of a car.
Yeah, absolutely. I made sure I picked that one up. It goes well in my diorama sets and that sort of thing. Fits in nicely. Although I still haven't unboxed it, but we'll do at some point.
It will go nicely in your diorama sets.
It will do. So we've also seen the latest release from Mini GT for December, the pre-order, another set of 6 cars as per usual. What's your thoughts on the 6 cars? What is the number one car out of that set of 6 that stands out to you?
Yeah, so look, I'll quickly run through them. We had the Toyota Supra Veilside in a white. Both of us have spoken about our Veilside cars before, that we're not super big fans of them. There was the LB Hakasuka in a baby blue. That's a new tooling from Mini GT, so that was a standout. They had a couple of the sort of, IMSA cars, the Daytona 24-hour cars. So there was an Acura, a Corvette. They also had a Mustang in the mix as well. And then another Liberty Walk GR86 in the Advan livery, similar to, or reminded me actually of that one that Pop Race did a while back. Look, the standout for me was the Hakasuka, as you probably would have guessed. Of the 6, that's actually the only one that I ordered. I didn't think that I needed another GR86 in the Advan livery. So the Hakasuka was the only one of those 6 that I ordered, which, by the way, I am pretty happy with. I'm pretty keen to get this one in hand eventually. It looks pretty good. How about yourself?
Yeah, so let's move back to the GR86. So obviously the Pop Race one is a Pandem GR86. This is a Liberty Walk GR86, both in the Advan.
Oh, okay.
Look,
yeah, right.
Look, so yeah, different body kits. I'm going to say that I much prefer the Pop Race Pandem body kit as opposed to the Liberty Walk one. And yeah, I think the casting's just done, the Pop Race casting of the GR86 is just a lot better done in the Advan. The body kit just looks a lot better, very similar in a way, but still very different. Obviously, the removable hood. So yeah, for me, there's no need to get the GR86 from Mini GT Liberty Walk. But yeah, I'm with you with the Hakasuka. Definitely my favorite. However, I'm going to disagree with you and say I'm actually kind of really annoyed that they've released this Hakasuka in this baby blue. So I don't know if you've picked up on it, but it is the Ken Mary Liberty Walk color, and they've got the yellow writing across the windscreen. So it's sort of, an off spin from the Ken Mary Liberty Walk 2000 GTR. I don't know. I'm guessing you'd notice that, especially with the yellow roll bar inside. So it's kind of like an off spin from the Ken Mary.
Yeah,
you picked up,
I noticed that,
hadn't you?
I'm probably missing why that upset you.
Look, it kind of annoys me because Mini GT have released the Ken Mary in this color, but it was an exclusive.
Yeah.
Quite expensive to get your hands on. So yeah, for me, I really wanted to see that baby blue on the Ken Mary, not on the Hakasuka, and especially the very first Hakasuka. the very first Hakasuka that gets released, when there's probably a lot of people that wanted the Ken Mary in that color. And the very first Hakasuka that they released, they kind of tease us by, doing what they should have done on the Ken Mary on the Hakasuka.
Sounds pretty petty to me, but
have I looked too deep into that? Probably.
Look, it's a lot deeper than I went on it. That's for sure.
So
look, it's a fair point. Your feelings are your feelings.
I will be picking. I'll definitely pick that one up for sure. As much as it annoys me, it is a cool looking car. And yeah, obviously I love the Ken Mary and the baby blue Liberty Walk style. So I'll get the Liberty Walk Hakasuka in, the Ken Mary baby blue. But yeah, that's where I stand with that one.
Fair enough. Hey, look, to be honest, that did not even cross my mind. I just went, oh, cool. They've brought out the Hakasuka in the Ken Mary baby blue. Awesome. I just, it didn't even cross my mind. But hey, look, sometimes you've just got a button, and sometimes these brands just push that button, and your button is a baby blue Ken Mary that you never got.
One question I do have: are there any other diecast brands that have done the Liberty Walk Hakasuka in 164 that you can think of? Because off the top of my head, I'm sure there's probably someone that's done one, whether it's unlicensed or not. I was trying to think if
there'd have to be
Tarmac
someone.
Works,
I don't think I've got one though.
I don't think Tarmac Works has done one. But yes,
No.
I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool that we're getting a Liberty Walks Hakasuka. I know the Pop Race one is more of a Pandem style, a custom one. But it's pretty cool that we got a Liberty Walk one now. So it kind of keeps it a little bit unique. Yeah, no, we quite often see, and I don't know if you've noticed it, but it's kind of like the brands try to compete with each other. Sometimes you kind of think, let the brand have it, keep it original. We've seen things like the Pop Race RX-7 Amamiya. I'm probably just butchered the pronunciation of that. We've seen it from Pop Race. They did it really well. And obviously we've just seen it recently from Mini GT get released. You've got Tarmac Works moving into Liberty Walk, and it looks like they're going to be creating a lot of the same castings that Mini GT have just done. Obviously, we had the top secret Toyota Supra that we saw from Inu 64. I think we saw it from BMC originally. Pop Race have done it. For me, it's, are the brands just competing too much, and they see one person get a good idea and they go, let's smash that out as well. It's too much of a moneymaker not to do it. What are your thoughts on all the brands? I know we've even just seen Tarmac release a Pandem Toyota Yaris as well. I believe it was out at Tokyo Auto Salon, Hong Kong. So we're seeing a lot of the same castings being done by different brands at the moment. And sometimes I think to myself, it'd be good just if, the brands just keep it original, keep their own ideas. But it's almost like they see someone do it and it's almost like a bit of a race, like who can do that as well and who can do it better. What's your thoughts?
I see what you're saying. Essentially what you're saying is, hey, look, Mini GT, you seem to have something going on with Liberty Walk, so you stay in your lane over there and do what you're doing with Liberty Walk, and Pop Race are doing what they're doing with Pandem, so we'll stay over here and we'll do what we're doing with Pandem. And hey, look, if you want the odd Pandem car, come and grab the Pop Race. If you want the odd Liberty Walk car, go over to Mini GT. However, I would say I get where you're coming from, and there is some things, those RX-7s, for example. To be honest, I wasn't really a huge fan. I'm not really a huge fan of that kit, to be honest, from either Pop Race or Mini GT, but I'm not a fan of the kit. That's just me. Similar to the Veil side, it's probably not going to matter who does it. I'm still not necessarily going to be a fan of it. But when it comes to I think in the collector world, as in the other diecast collectors, there are quite a few people who are loyalists to specific brands, so that you've got the guys that will only buy Hot Wheels. You got your guys that are mini GT through to through. There's plenty of guys that are pop race through and through. I guess it's probably a little bit different to us because we tend to just buy whatever we like. So I guess at least with, for example, the Top Secret one was a perfect example. Everyone did a Top Secret Supra. Mini GT did one, Pop Race did one, BMC, like you said, 64 did one. And I think I've got all of them except for the BMC, I reckon. Do I need 3 gold top secret Supras? Probably not. But there's an element of it that I kind of like, in the fact that I kind of like to be able to grab a couple of different brands of, especially if it's a model that I like the Top Secret Supra, and sort of just have a look at, this guy did really well with this, and this brand did really well with that, and this one I think did the best wheels. I kind of don't mind sort of comparing them a little bit, if that makes sense. But I see the flip side of it as well. We probably don't need that many brands to just be pumping out the same thing, especially around the same sort of time as well. They're all pumping it out around the same sort of time.
Yeah, look, and I think another example, I honestly believe that Kaido House, the Hakasuka that Kaido House did, I feel like that was in response to almost in response to Pop Race, I think, because, Pop Race did a really awesome casting. It was a super popular and really, I feel like it really put Pop Race on the map in a way. And I feel like Kaido House, they've created a really nice one as well, but I feel like that was almost in response to the Pop Race one, just viewing how well that one did in the market. So thought they'd replicate it and, ride the gravy train for a little bit.
I don't know. It's hard to say because the Hakasuka, it's a popular car. It's, that's like saying that, 64, they did an F40 because they saw that Tomica did really well with their 40s, and so did Tarmac Works, so they thought they'd ride that gravy train. It's just a popular model. I feel like the Hakasuka's in that same sort of, god status when it comes to cars.
Yeah, I mean, Inu did the Liberty Walk F40, didn't they? So it is a little bit different.
Mm.
And obviously they got away with that one, and there's not a lot of people willing to replicate that one because you kind of go against the Ferrari license when you do that one, and hence that's why Mini GT will never create that one, or Tarmac Works as well, because Ferrari won't license a Liberty Walk Ferrari. So yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother topic, isn't it?
It is a whole other topic. I don't know. Ultimately, though, when it comes to this question of whether it's, I think there's sometimes having that healthy competition is not a bad thing. I think it sometimes drives the market for both. I mean, you did a video of the Kaido versus Pop Race Hakasuka and compared the two. Really, that video promotes both brands. So I think both win from that scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, I think sometimes it comes down to brand loyalty, doesn't it? Keeping it fresh. Someone that does, we just talked about Kaido. They do keep it fresh, a little bit of fantasy in the mix. And we've just had another set of 4 released from Kaido. And I know there's one that you're probably pretty excited about. And I'm pretty sure it is the first release of this casting. Am I correct?
None of these are first releases.
It must be the second release. That's it. Just shows how much care I have for this casting. So
you would be referring to the Volkswagen.
I would be. It's the second, isn't it?
It's the second. Yeah, it is the second.
I did think to myself, surely they're not releasing it in pink straight up. So yeah, I was questioning it myself, but yeah, obviously. Yeah, obviously, I didn't do my research. Care factor wasn't high enough on that one.
No, you know what? It wouldn't have surprised me if pink was the first colour. This is the second release, but it wouldn't have surprised me if pink was the first colour. Jun has no secrets around his love for pink, and that is no doubt why we have 2 pink cars out of the 4 released this month. So there was the Julie in the vintage spec. We've seen that in the brown with the white stripe, and we've seen that with the blue with the white stripe. So this is now coming out in the pink with the white stripe. Look, I'm a big fan of this vintage spec Silverado, so I was happy to see another variation. I have to say the brown and the blue are probably more in my favour than the pink, but I don't mind it. Look, the Volkswagen, to be honest, was probably my least favourite of the 4 releases. I wasn't super wrapped with it, but I even had a mini thought about how long will I keep just collecting every single Kaido, just blindly grabbing them all, because I wasn't a huge fan of that Volkswagen. Nonetheless, I did order it just to make sure I don't have a gap in the collection. But that one was probably the first time I've thought, do I need to just grab every single one, or should I just start grabbing the ones that I really, really like? But I was really keen on the 510 wagon. It had this like koi fish design down the side of it, on the roof, bonnet, etc. And I really like the koi fish design that they came out with on that. As many 510 wagons as I already have in the Kaido House, there's certainly no new casting there. But I did like the design. I thought the design was pretty unique and something different. Then I quite liked the EF Civic that came out as well, as a sort of like an anime sort of design on the car. Look, some of the designs, I think they've got some new designers in-house, because some of the designs are going a distinctly different direction, but I don't mind it. There's certainly some different things coming through, but there's definitely a different direction to, I would say, the first 200 Kaido House releases. We're going away from, I guess, that... there was a lot of sort of, racing style liveries, whereas we're starting to see a bit more in the way of different patterns and things like that on the sides of the cars and that. So look, I was a big fan of the 510. The EF Civic was up there for me as well, and then I ordered the 2 pink ones just to keep the collection intact.
Yeah, awesome. Yep. So that's definitely a pass for me on the two pink ones. I don't think I'll pick up a Volkswagen drag bus or whatever it is. That's one I'll completely skip. The other one is the Silverado. I don't feel I need it in a pink. I've got 1 or 2 of those already, so I don't need another casting. I do agree with you with the EF Civic, and I do really like the sort of anime, sort of manga style livery on it. I don't think I like it enough to buy it, but I think it would be pretty cool if we saw another few Kaido houses done in sort of an anime livery. I think they could definitely entice me into pick one up if they did it right. And the other one that I do really like with you is the 510 wagon. However, there is one observation I have made against the 510 wagon. It's not a bad observation. It's just simply an observation. But if you blur your eyes and look at it, you could almost mistake that for the Mad Mike RX3 wagon. It just gives me that vibe.
Okay.
If you were to blur your eyes, you could almost.
Yeah, it's got those Red Bull colours.
Yeah, it's got those. It's the same sort of blue with those Red Bull colours, and it almost. But yeah, I think it's cool. I like the koi fish, and I almost think to myself,
that hadn't occurred to me. Good observation.
Yeah.
Good observation. I like it. The more that I look at it, the more I go, yeah, you're right.
You have proved me wrong a few times, but I'm generally right, aren't I, between our observations? But yeah.
One quick note on these releases. I was a big fan of different coloured headlights. So on that anime EF Civic, the yellow tinted headlights, and they had the yellow tinted headlights on the Volkswagen as well. Yeah, big fan of that. I don't mind it.
Yeah, I think the yellow tinted headlights on the anime style Civic, they do look really good. I think without them, there'd be something missing if they just went straight clear on those for sure.
All right, now that you are done talking rubbish about Kaido, let's move on to your favourite brand, Pop Race, and I'll try and find something to talk nasty about your favourite brand, if I can.
All right. So what's been going on?
What do you got, mate? What have they been doing?
Yeah, no regular releases, but obviously currently as the podcast has been recorded, we've got the Tokyo Auto Salon on in Hong Kong. And like we saw at the APA in China, Pop Race have released 6 exclusive models for this event, which is awesome to see so many exclusive models at one event. So yeah, pretty disappointed I can't be there to pick them
100%.
up. So we've seen the Honda Civic, the EG6, the Licky Molly, isn't it? I did do a reel on this.
Yeah, Liquid Molly. Yeah, the one we spoke about in the last.
Yep. So I did a reel on this one on my Instagram. I think I posted it to YouTube, and it looks so good. Such a nice Civic. We've got the top secret Supra that we talked about last time. We have a Pandem Hakosuka, so the famous Hakosuka we've just talked about before. Not too keen on this one in the colour. It's kind of like a blue-grey colour. I've got so many Hakosukas already. Don't need to chase up this exclusive one. We have the Porsche RWB 997 in a chrome green colour. Looks pretty cool. But yeah, the casting itself, I've got one already, and it's not one of my favourite castings. Again, don't feel the need to pick that one up. Two cars that really did catch my eye, got me a little bit excited. To tell you the truth, a little bit of FOMO when I saw this. We've got 2 Spoon cars. So obviously being Spoon, they're Civics. Sorry, they're Hondas. One being a Civic.
Yep.
And one being an NSX Type R. So the NSX Type R, I think we've got a regular one up for pre-order already. This one's just got a few extra decals, racing numbers on it. So it's not actually a lot different from the regular release. So everyone will get the opportunity to pick that one up if they miss this one. However, I do really like the racing numbers on it and the extra decals they've added. So I do want to try and pick this one up. We'll see how we go. It's not bad if I do miss it. Like I said, we've got the regular release coming, and we've also got the Spoon Honda Civic, the FL5 Type R, and yeah, this one's super cool as well in the Spoon livery. So I'd really like to get hold of this one. We haven't seen this one as a regular release yet. I dare say we probably will moving forward, but yeah, I'll be trying my hardest to pick this one up as well. So yeah, the Spoon ones. I've got the Civic already and the Top Secret Super in purple, and looking for the Spoons. Super cool releases. How about you? What are your thoughts? I know we talked about this earlier on in the week, and you said to me, I'm not telling you how I feel about those. We're going to wait for the podcast. So hit me with it.
Spot on. Correct. I did say that. Look, I really want to be here just ripping into you going, what? You like those Spoon Hondas? Are you joking? But to be honest with you, I didn't like the Spoon NSX that Pop Race released earlier, but I do like this one. I do like the racing numbers. I don't know why the racing numbers just change it completely for me, but they do. I reckon it just looks 10 times better with those racing numbers on it. So I am a fan of this one. If I do get the chance to get my hands on this one, I would very much like to. And look, the Civic, I'm going to be honest, I don't usually go hard, especially for the FL5 model Civic. There's quite a few brands that have done it before. I know you quite like them, but it's not something that I usually go for. But I don't know what it is about this one. To be honest, even the Spoon livery is not something that I usually go for. I think it might be the wheels. I really like the chunky 5-spoke wheel that they've put on this thing. And I was thinking about it the other day, and just in general, when it comes to diecast in general, going away from just Pop Race for a minute, I think wheels really sell a car for me. Like, I think they're one of the major things. So, you know, I know that, for example, on that EG6, quite a popular thing to have those fan-style wheels on them. But I'm not a huge fan. Like, I think it's great on some cars. It works on some cars, doesn't work on others. But anyway, I just like this traditional 5-spoke wheel that they've put on the Civic, and I think it really sets the car off nicely. It looked like it had like tyre writing on the tyres as well, which I thought looked really cool. And look, the whole package. I have not got an FL5 Type R Supra in my collection at all from any brand, but if I'm going to get one, I would like it to be this one. I'm a pretty big fan, to be honest. So, Ben, I hate coming on this podcast and agreeing with you on anything, but what I will disagree with you on is the Hakko. I actually like this colour. Not only did I like the colour, I think what I liked about it was the red trim against that colour. I thought that looked really good. But then I saw friends of yours posting, from over there in Hong Kong, a real life version sitting on the pop race floor there, and I thought, now I like it even more. It looks even better in the flesh, one-on-one. So yeah, I actually really like that colour. As many Hakkos as I've got, and as many times as I've sworn I'm not going to get another one. That is one thing that I'll disagree with you on, is that I actually like that one. And the 997, mate, I dislike this casting completely. I will not buy this casting. I don't have any of them, and I'm not going to buy any of them either. I just don't think... Look, I don't know if it's the 997 or if I think that Pop Race just haven't done this RWB justice. I've seen some of the castings that they've got for some of the other model RWBs, and they look promising. But I hope they do better than what this one is, because this one to me is the worst RWB casting. I really don't like it. That's my thoughts.
Hey, fair call. Look, I do agree on the point that when you see a car in real life, and if I had been at the Hong Kong Tokyo Auto Salon, I definitely would have had more of a liking for the Harco. They actually had the Porsche there as well, so maybe if you had seen the Porsche in person, you may have changed your mind and you would have absolutely loved this casting. When I was with Pop Race in Japan at the Fuji Speedway, they had a 24-hour race. Pop Race were competing in it. There was actually a Spoon Civic racing in that race as well. And just watching that Spoon Civic move around the racetrack, honestly, I fell in love with it there. And yeah, have a new appreciation for Spoon. I wasn't huge on Spoon before that, but seeing them in action, super cool. Something else that we see at exhibitions like we have here at Tokyo Auto Salon are a lot of up-and-coming models, resin models, and Pop Race have also got a couple of those. We've got the Pandem, I believe it looks like an E30 BMW. It looks like it's got a sunroof. It's obviously the Pandem, it's got a wide body kit on it, and the front bonnet flips forward. Definitely keen to see more BMWs, E30s, E32s, the older models done in 164 diecast. So I'm pretty excited for this one. It does look a little wide at the rear. Could just be the angle of the photo. Pretty excited to see how this one looks. We've also got what looks like another Amamiya RX-7, a little bit more higher end on the race spec. So I believe they've raced this one at Time Attack. I think that's been sponsored by Pop Race, and I have actually seen this one in Macau, the 1-to-1 version. So pretty cool looking race car. Yeah, pretty cool looking race car. Excited
Huge
to see this
GT
one.
wing on this thing.
Massive wing for some downforce on that one for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Now the resin casting looks really cool. Looks really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. One other one that we've had a sneak peek at, we've got another Mazda 787B, so removable front end, removable rear. This one's sort of in a bit of a matte black racing spec with an orange wing on the back. So something that I've just seen for the first time. Definitely one that when this one's released, I'll pick it up. But yeah, pretty cool looking car.
Hot Wheels did this particular colorway as well, didn't they? Didn't Hot Wheels do that? The black with the red wing, red mirrors.
Now that you mention it, they did do a black one. I don't recall it having the red mirrors and the wing, but I do recall the matte black 787B. Whether it is I dare say it's probably an actual based off an actual racing model that's raced in the past.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I doubt the Hot Wheels one had mirrors, come to think of it, but I'm pretty sure it had the red wing. I think it had the red wing because I've not seen this picture before of what you posted, but I've seen that in a 164 before. I think it was Hot Wheels. But anyway, side note, it does look good. That'll be the third from Pop Race, right?
At least the third, possibly fourth. Yeah, I believe it is the third, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, we've seen a white and green one, obviously the OG one, and yeah, I believe
Yep.
it is third release in this color.
Yeah, provided this is the next release.
Yeah, obviously no release date, not up for pre-order yet. Yeah, there were a few other releases, a few other resin models on display, but these are probably the ones that caught my eye that we haven't seen a lot of yet. So yeah, let's move on. Something else that we saw at Tokyo Auto Salon, and a little bit of a collaboration between Tarmac Works and Liberty Walk. I believe you've seen this picture as well. You saw the release, you saw the unveiling.
Yeah, so it wasn't too long ago that Liberty Walk unveiled the R32 with this crazy kit on it with the big shark nose on the front. That looks like, obviously Tarmac have done one of these with Liberty Walk with the Tarmac branding on the one-of-one car. And going by the resin models that we've seen so far, it looks like they are planning to replicate that in 164, which is what you would expect. But I'm really interested to see some of these models come out from Tarmac. I've got a lot of the Mini GT ones, and so I'm interested to see. I'm a fan of both brands. I'm interested to see what Tarmac Works do with these. I really do hope that they do a good job. But I hope they don't suffer some of the quality issues that we've spoken about before with Tarmac. I think that they'll put a fair bit of effort into this collaboration with Liberty Walk and really try to step up their game. If the John Siebel wide body cars are anything to go by, those have been impeccable from Tarmac Works. I've been absolutely blown away with the quality and standard of those. So if they take anything from that line and do these Liberty Walk bottles in that same sort of to that same level of quality, I'll be pretty happy.
Yeah, I mean, as a diecast collector, it gives you a lot more. It gives you more options as well, because obviously Mini GT is releasing the exact same model as well. So it'll be interesting to compare the two. I think Tarmac's probably going to be a little bit more expensive, obviously. The big question for me, will Tarmac step it up, and will we see a rolling model here? Because for me, it's going to be Mini GT over Tarmac, purely potentially just on rolling factor, unless of course the casting is just so much better from Tarmac Works. But yep, time will tell.
That's what I'm keen to see. We also saw they did a Pandem Yaris, or Corolla. No, Yaris. Pandem Yaris. Yeah. And look, Tarmac have been putting in a lot of work with, making sure that they're collaborating with some really big brands. And Disney is one that they've recently snagged. And so they are very excited about this collaboration with Disney going forward. And this is the first car, I believe, that we've seen with anything to do with Disney. So this is celebrating, I believe, the 100 years of Disney, something like that. But yeah, covered in Toy Story characters. So yeah, look, I can certainly understand there being a market for this. It's not really my thing, but yeah, it's cool. It's in that same sort of thing that Tarmac have always done, where, Hello Kitty is another prime example. I believe Felix from Tarmac has a young daughter. And so these sorts of things, I'm sure he's proud of being able to do these sorts of things and it being in that sort of vein. So, yeah, there'll be plenty of kids and plenty of collectors out there that will be all over this.
Yeah, look, I believe this is an event exclusive for the Tokyo Auto Salon in Hong Kong. And I will say with Tarmac Works, you usually see an event exclusive, but then you'll see something very similar released as a standard release. So interesting to see what they follow it up with. Personally, the yellow, the Toy Story theme, not huge on this car, not one I'll be looking to get, but as we've talked about before, as you just mentioned, I do like a good Hello Kitty Tarmac Works car. So, potentially there's going to be a few Disney-themed things Even Toy Story, I don't mind a bit of Toy Story, a very classic movie from back in the day. I know would be for you as well.
100%.
So,
100%.
if they do it right, something that I'd definitely be interested in picking up. So, something else we've also seen from the Tokyo Auto Salon Hong Kong, from Inu64, we've got the Honda S2000, and this is JS's Racing. We've seen JS Racing done in a few other brands, one being one of my favorites. We've talked about it, the Micro Turbo. We've also seen it from Motor Helix. Have just released a Honda S2000. So going again off our theme, brands doing the same thing. So we've seen Micro Turbo, Motor Helix have released one, and we've got Inu64 with the JS Racing. They're not only doing this one for Tokyo Auto Salon, they're doing it in other colours just as a standard release. It is a good looking car for me. The Turbo Micro one, a little bit more high end. Yeah, you can't go past it. So I potentially can't see myself picking up any of these S2000s from Inu64. But if you're looking for something a little bit cheaper than Micro Turbo, definitely a good buy for sure. And the details from Inu64 are always really insane.
Yeah, look, do always do really well. I've been to be honest, I've sort of been hanging for Inno to release something. There hasn't been a whole lot from them for a while, it feels like. Or maybe they're just a lot more, maybe they're just not releasing at the same crazy pace that some of these other brands release at. But yeah, it's good to see them dropping some new models. They are always good for a expo. They will always come out with the goods for an expo. And the Honda S2000 is probably not something that I would run out and pick up, but this one does look very good. So, well done on that.
Look, and personally, I think Inu64 are a little behind on their social media, so it is a lot harder to keep tabs on Inu64 and what they're releasing, I've found. So true. That is another issue. It'd be good to see them step up their social media game a little bit, make my life easier.
You're right.
Anyway.
You do sort of see things just appear out of the woodwork, and you go, huh, when did that get released? Or it'll appear on pre-order at your local store, and you go, hey, I've not seen anything about this. So you're right. I think it is a social media thing.
Yeah, definitely. Something we haven't talked about for a little while, Oswheels. We've got
has been a while.
Couple of new releases from Oswheels. Something that's very close to my heart. We had a set of 4 Bathurst racing cars from Oswheels, and they've just released the final 2 cars from that set of 4 to make a set of 6. One being the BA Falcon in a racing livery, and an XD Falcon in a racing livery. Personally, more of a Holden fan. I think the liveries, I don't think they quite pulled these ones off. I know they have been very popular. I noticed one of the main stores that I purchased from, both these cars are sold out. So there's definitely plenty of people looking to pick them up. The other one being, they've also released another XD Falcon in a very plain white colour with Oswheels down the side. I know this is to replicate a 1-to-1 Ford Falcon drag car. So as Oswheels have done, they do replicate iconic sort of Australian, burnout cars, drag cars, show cars, something that they hold very close to their hearts. And this is another one. Very plain looking car. I'll let you explain a reason why I might not like it. And let's hear what your thoughts are too.
Look, just quickly going back to the Bathurst cars, I did really like that release. At some point, I haven't rushed out to get them, but I wouldn't mind picking up the Bathurst series, or Racing Heroes, or whatever it is that they call this series. Provided they're in the higher end detail. I'm not a fan of the blacked out windows and all that sort of stuff, but I think these aren't they?
These are all FSD, interiors, clear windows,
Yeah. But when I saw the plain white Falcon come out, I'm fully aware that it is a replica of a one-of-one car, and so I understand why they've done what they've done. But I did have a chuckle to myself because you've made it very clear on this show numerous times that regardless of the brand, you are not a fan of the company brand being splayed across the side of the vehicle willy-nilly, just shamelessly branding it with their logo, regardless of the brand. You've said it several times, and this Falcon has a great big dirty old Oswald sticker right down the side of it. And so I chuckled to myself because I thought this will be interesting. Ben loves his Oswheels, but will he like this one? Because this one has a great big Oswald sticker down the side. So, I was actually genuinely interested to hear what you had to say.
Look, and the thing is, the real 1-for-1 car has Oswheels splayed down the side of the car
It does.
at the moment. So maybe
Correct.
maybe that's an exemption to a reason why I could like it. However, I was thinking to
Fair
myself,
enough.
if I were to pull out the nail polish removal, how easily would this decal come off the side to make it just a plain white XD? So I don't know. Maybe we'll find out when I get my hands on one. I'll find out how easy it is to remove the decal from the side.
I'll be honest with you. If that works, let me know, because I would be keen on just a plain white one without the Oswald sticker down the side. A friend of mine's actually got one of these with a barra and turbo and all the rest. It's a cool looking thing.
Yeah, well, this one does have the barra in it, the 1-to-1. So I'll let you know though, because it does quite often work on a lot of Hot Wheels cars. So I will let you know. But yeah, apart from that, not a lot going on from Oswheels. I'm actually pretty keen to see a few new castings that were announced quite a while ago popping up for Oswheels, and maybe a new little series coming up with some new cool castings in it. That would be good to see.
Yeah, for sure. Keen to see what they do next.
Something else that I've seen released, and I'm going to place this under our hidden gem category. And I also noticed this one was on display, I believe, at Tokyo Auto Salon, Hong Kong. And this one's from Greenlight. And this is, in fact, a Greenlight 164 RC truck. It's hard to see from the picture, but it looks like a GMC sort of big American truck. And I thought, that's something totally different, something unexpected from Greenlight. Obviously, just a prototype at the moment, a sample piece. But yeah, something super cool, and definitely something I'm down for, an RC big GMC truck.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is just another prime example of exactly what you were talking about earlier with different brands. I guess that competition makes people step up. So, Hot Wheels obviously just did their bit. There's a few other brands that have done RC cars of late in that 164 scale. So interesting to see. I mean, clearly Greenlight would have been working on this simultaneously with Hot Wheels, because it wouldn't have been, both were only released. The Hot Wheels one was only released recently, so they couldn't have. I wouldn't have thought that they would have pulled something like this out that quickly without already having it in the pipeline. But interesting to see, and I do like the idea of the GMC truck. That's pretty cool.
Look, I can picture this one in my diorama, using the Greenlight gooseneck trailer, hooking it on the back, and hauling a few cars around. So honestly, I think this is super cool, and I am so down for an RC Greenlight GMC truck whenever it's released.
Yeah. Hopefully it's as responsive as what we saw with the Hot Wheels one. The Hot Wheels one was very it was much better than I thought it would be, from a response point of view.
Yeah, definitely. So I definitely think I could make a few cool videos with that. So I might have to reach out to Greenlight and see what their thoughts are.
Yeah, 100%. Mate, anything that's been giving you FOMO lately?
Look, there has been something.
Usually have something up your sleeve.
I've always got something obscure, something that's given me a little bit of FOMO. And this one is from a brand, an unlicensed brand Probably one of the more popular unlicensed brand, Time Micro. It's actually a brand
Okay.
that I don't buy. I don't buy too many of because I just don't like a lot of the cars that they do. They do a lot of that sort of, Fast and the Furious, swap the liveries around and,
Yeah.
random, they put the wrong body kits and try and, make the style a little bit different. But the thing that caught my eye with this one is called a Charger Brawler. So it's actually a police car and it's got quite an aggressive sort of body kit on it and a bit of an aggressive wing on the back. And looking at this car, does it ring a bell to you? Can you see where it's from?
No, I can't pick it.
When I was first looking at this car, I'm thinking Need for Speed. I'm thinking, is that a Need for Speed police car? It looks like something that would chase the the Need for Speed BMW around. And I couldn't put my finger on it. And I actually did some research, and it is in fact from Grand Theft Auto 5, one of the police cars from Grand Theft Auto 5.
Nice.
But yeah, I really liked the aggressive look, and being video game themed, like Need for Speed, the Need for Speed cars. I thought it was a pretty cool concept, and I really liked the wide body kit and the aggressive look to it, and decals. And I've actually already ordered myself a set of 2 to
Do they come in 2
my...
or you've ordered 2?
No, I've ordered 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
That's the thing about police cars, and I did the same with Kaido House, the R34 police cars. I actually ordered 3 of those so I could get a little squad of them. I don't know what it is. I just cannot seem to just get one police car. I've got to get a couple of them so they can cruise around together. Not good.
Yeah, I noticed you did the same thing with those Roland ones as well. Had quite a few of those.
Yeah.
And it does look really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think you'll pick one up? Is it cool enough for a mini car realm? It's kind of almost heading towards the fantasy realm, so it could be up your alley.
Look, I do like it. I'm not a huge police car guy, and I've not ever really looked too hard at the Time Micros, but this does look really cool. And look, the Grand Theft Auto nod certainly makes it more attractive for me. Loved a bit of Grand Theft Auto in my time. So look, you might have to send me the link. I won't order 2. That's excessive, but I might just order 1 for the collection. But yeah, I do actually like it. I like the wing on the back. Is it a wing?
It is a little aggressive looking wing, yeah. Yeah,
it just sort of, I don't know, something about it just makes it. It makes it. You're right. It is almost fantasy in the fact that what would a real police car do with a wing like that on the back of the car? Like it's just unrealistic in that respect. But it also does look tough. Hence the name, the Brawler, I suppose. But yeah, no, I really like it. Speaking of video, like you said, the video game side of things, and obviously the Need for Speed. They've got the classic BMW and things like that. I really think that somebody needs to do a GT7 or just a GT series, because there's just so many classic cars from Gran Turismo over the years. Somebody needs to do it. I mean, I know I shouldn't say somebody needs to do it because Hot Wheels have done it, but somebody needs to do all the cars. Hot Wheels has done a couple of the cars from the movie and also from the game, but yeah, no, somebody needs to do a proper Gran Turismo series because I would be all over that.
I 100% agree. More sort of video game themed series. I'd love to see more of that as well. 100%.
Yeah. Obviously, Hot Wheels did the Cyberpunk cars and stuff as well, which was cool. Not that I've got any of them, but I thought it was cool that they did it.
What's been giving you FOMO lately?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, look, one that popped up again from the Tokyo Auto Salon was Mini GT have done a collaboration with Liberty Walk. Look, I've grabbed a couple of these collaborations from previous Tokyo Auto Salons. They had the gold bar. I don't know if you remember the gold bar with the top secret the 3 top secret cars in it. And then they had the Bape one as well. And then this one is quite similar. And when I saw it, I went, oh, I like that. But essentially, it has obviously 3 Liberty Walk cars in it, 2 R35 GDRs, and 1 R34 in the super silhouette style. I'm a sucker for schmick packaging, and this thing just I loved it. that's what got me hooked on that top secret one as well. I was just like, oh man, how good does that look? So yeah, look, when I saw this, I was like, yeah, I don't want to pay stupid money for it, which is inevitably what it will be. But if I do find one that's at somewhat of a reasonable price, I will probably spend my hard-earned on securing one. What's your thoughts?
Look, I'm going to disagree with you and say I do not like schmick packaging, because the packaging is I'm not keeping anything in the packaging, so it's going to get ripped open eventually and thrown in the cupboard. So I do know what you mean by, there is an appeal to schmick packaging, but it's just a waste for me. My question is, have Liberty, because these are kind of almost Too Fast, Too Furious R34 vibes, isn't it? The blue stripes down the middle and the side. It's pretty much based off the Too Fast, Too Furious R34 GTR. I have a feeling something we have to look into. I don't know if you know, but has Liberty Walk created a super silhouette R34 with that livery? I feel like obviously not chrome, but silver with the blue stripes.
Yeah, they have.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yep.
I thought they had.
They've done all 3 of these cars. They've done all 3 of these cars in real life.
Yeah, I'd seen some pictures and I weren't sure if it was a bit of AI, a bit of cartoon. I thought they had done the R34, but it gives it a little more credibility to me for them already doing it. I was sure they'd already done the R34. Let's go back to the diecast though, and the chrome paint with the blue. Undecided. I don't like these.
Undecided, okay.
Yeah, I haven't been a fan of the triple sets in the past.
Yeah, okay.
For me, not fussed at all on getting these, but I do see the appeal to them and see why they are such a sought-after item. But yeah, pretty cool pieces.
Yeah. Look, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna die if I don't get it in my collection. But it did give me a bit of FOMO. I'm not gonna lie. When I actually saw Liberty Walk post it first before I saw anyone else post it, and then I actually went over to Mini GT's page to check out what Mini GT have said about this. Nothing. Mini GT hadn't put it. I don't think they've put it up even yet. Liberty Walk certainly have been pumping it.
Look, what I can say about these event exclusives, and one thing that does annoy me, is I did go to Tokyo Auto Salon. I was there for a short amount of time last year in Tokyo, and trying to get hold of the Mini GT models is so hard. Whereas, getting hold of the pop race models, they actually make enough that everyone can get hold of them. So obviously they're making larger numbers. It's probably not as exclusive. There's not going to be any stampedes for it, but you also don't get, angry at the end of the day when you rock up and you can't get this triple set because you've almost been crushed to death in the stampede. So,
yeah, look, I think that's probably just a reflection of fans, I'd say. Mini GT, I'm sure that they've been hard at work pumping out as many of these as they can, but they're just, it's a hot product. So, look, I'm sure Pop Race, they made a few as well, but there's probably just not as many people lining up to get the Pop Race stuff, I'd say.
Look, I think Pop Race just make the numbers. Will disagree with you. I know Pop Race just do make a lot more numbers. Let's move on. So I'm gonna. So we're going to finish off. This is a This is a new segment that we've brought in, and something we want to encourage as we move forward. So this is a audience question. So we do ask for questions, more particularly on our YouTube channel. So if you have a question you want to ask us, topic that you want us to cover off on, please put it in the comments. We'd love to, have a few good discussions about a few good topics. But this question was from Jack74264. He has asked, firstly, he said, great podcast. One thing I'd like to ask you both, what would you say your favorite diorama brand is? And what would you say your least favorite and most favorite Hot Wheels release from the last 2 to 3 years is? So yeah, I'll let you kick this one off.
Thanks, mate. This is a tough one. Look, I wouldn't necessarily say that I've ever thought about what my favourite diorama brand is. I'm certainly nowhere near anywhere near the top when it comes to diorama purchases. That's probably definitely more of a you question. However, what I do buy in diorama, I would say the mats that I buy are a form of diorama. So the Boy Racer Ben mat from Diecast Culture, great mat. Just thought I'd put that plug in there for you, mate. But look, aside from that, because I've got plenty of mats. But aside from that, I do buy a lot of figures. And look, I've got a few figures from a number of different brands, but probably the most consistent and affordable brand is American Diorama. I've got a ton of American Diorama figurines. For me, that's probably the extent of diorama. I do have, but I don't get a lot of buildings and garages and all those sorts of things. So yeah, it's probably more of a question for you. As far as the second part of that question, least favorite Hot Wheels and most favorite Hot Wheels, to be honest, I've never even thought about what my least favorite Hot Wheels are. There's so many releases all the time, and there's plenty that I don't buy. It's not, just not for me, but it's definitely for other collectors out there. So, I guess everything that I buy is something I actually want, of course, but I don't have anything that I hate. I just go, oh, that's not for me. So a hard one to answer in relation to least favorite. Favorite Hot Wheels releases, ones that I've managed to get my hands on that I've been really happy with. Immediately comes to mind for me this year. We had the RLC Mercedes 600. So the Mercedes-Benz 600 with both front and rear opening doors. I love like a great big saloon car, and this thing was slammed as well. And I think Hot Wheels did a great job. The paint on the RLC car is impeccable, and I walk in here every day and look at it in its Koval case and just go, that's such a good model. So I really think they did a good job with that. So that's a standout that comes to mind straight away for me. The other Hot Wheels models that I've liked, the Elite 6.4 range has been good. One of the ones that's probably stood out for me from the Elite 6.4 range is the Datsun. I really like the Datsun that they did. That was big fan of that. That's about all that comes to my mind immediately. I know that I will stop recording after this and go, oh, as if you didn't say that one and that one, and it's so on and so forth. But that happens every time we record. So I'll sit with that. What about you, mate?
Look, I'll cover it a little bit faster. I won't blabber on the way that you just did about your favourite Hot Wheels cars. But I
like to think.
We'll start with the dioramas. So probably at the moment, the hottest dioramas, personally, I like the Morart dioramas. So you've got G-Fans and you've got Morarts.
Yep.
Probably the most affordable dioramas. I do prefer Morart just because they don't have the cables. They are battery operated, so you don't have cables going everywhere. One model in particular that has been released recently from G-Fans is the Initial D Tofu Shop, which is a bit of a hot property one. Probably hard to find as well. I ordered one off AliExpress, but yeah, as Initial D fan, definitely one I was keen to get hold of, and the Tofu Shop is pretty iconic and a really cool diorama. Moving on to least favourite Hot Wheels, that is a hard question, very similar, but I have had a little bit of time to think, as you blabbered on before, and probably one car that I don't really like is I'm not huge on a lot of gases and hot rods, especially when you start mixing a little bit of fantasy into it. So I am going to say I do not like the bone shakers.
Okay.
I think I'll leave it at that. It is a hard question to answer. It is. That is a fantasy car essentially. Now we move into my favorite Hot Wheels cars. I'm going to keep it simple and just stick with premium cars because that's what everyone knows. So I know I have talked about the Subaru Forester being one of my favorites recently, and I know so I won't cover on any more of that. Two other cars that I do really like is I did really like the Holden Monaro. I thought that Hot Wheels, even though they didn't get the lines of the car perfect, I really just like the stance and the look of the Hot Wheels Holden Monaro and the color as well. I think they chose the right color, right? It has a nice sparkle through the paint. So I really think they nailed that one in their Hot Wheels style.
Yeah, I like that one too. Yep.
And another car, Hot Wheels car that I'm just going to stick with and say I really like the Evo 6. And I'm going to say the red Tommy Mackinnon Evo 6, which actually came from the same set as the Tirana. Yeah. So, yeah, probably three of my favorite premium Hot Wheels. I won't go into RLCs. We'll stick with premium, and I'll end it at that.
Yep. No, very good, very good. No, mate, I don't think you did that any quicker than I did, but yeah, you've answered it well. Well, mate,
we took the same amount of time, just less bad blabbling, wasn't it? Yours. Nah.
That's all right. I can edit all that. A lot to cover off this episode, but it has been a good one. A lot going on, obviously, over there in the Tokyo Auto Salon. A lot of FOMO happening there. So yeah, a lot to cover off. Another thing that I wouldn't mind getting a bit of feedback. You and I have talked about potentially adding a guest at some point on this podcast. It's obviously just been a discussion at this point, but maybe we put it out to the listeners. Who would they like to see on the podcast as a guest in the future? What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. And do you want to hear about the guest? Or do you want to hear a little bit about the guest and have the guest's opinion on the diecast that we talk about? Similar format, and they get involved in the show, and we will cover off on them a little bit. Or do you want it more based around the guest and what's going on with the guest?
Yeah, so like interview style, or just joins us as an extra opinion on the normal show. Yeah, is that a good summary?
I like it. Something else, we were looking at potentially doing sort of not a lamely style sort of, end of year most popular car, but, I think it might be fun for us to cover off on a few of our favourite castings cars from the year from all brands. I don't think we need to go into too much depth.
Yeah.
I think someone even suggested a bit of I think it was a bit of a battle between our collections. Like we argue what's good, and we could almost do that for castings of this year. I don't know, something for us to think about anyway. And yeah, just maybe let us know your thoughts, because
plenty of ideas.
We might have to cover off in the new year, because this year is coming to an end very quickly, and we are only just starting to think about it now. So maybe a little bit late.
We might be. We will still have one more episode this year, I believe. Yeah, we will. We'll still have one more episode this year. Well, by the time it gets released, we'll still record one more this year. But by the time it actually gets released, it'll be actually in the new year, I reckon. Well, this will be the last episode for 2025. Thank you all for joining us for 6 episodes so far. It's been a blast. I look forward to seeing you on the next one, episode 7. Have a great Christmas and a happy New Year.
Perfect. Thank you.